In this video, I am going to attempt to survive 1000 days in Minecraft Hardcore. It's the most dangerous task, Hardcore mode. The mode where just one mistake can lead to a loss of an entire world filled with memories and hard work. Now, I want to share my story. It all began when I loaded into a vast and empty world, and my only quest was to survive. Knowing I was hopeless, I made basic shelter and got some diamond gear. And on day 52, it was time to take on a foe I hadn't faced. The Ender Dragon, a beast strong enough to end my entire world. But I was confident and didn't back down. In fact, I defeated it with ease. I then travelled to the depths of the Nether, where boiling hot lava flows like water. I had travelled there for ancient debris so that I could craft full netherite tools and armour. I would then go on to use this gear to defend my island from a raid of hostile foes. You see, eventually I was able to construct some new creations on my island. Things like castles, storage rooms, and nether bases. Now, having all of these builds were great. It gave me places to store and showcase my hard work. But you see, something I achieved on day 541 isn't something I can simply show off. In fact, it's not something I can even display. Because, well, on day 541, I would overcome my biggest task yet. The most difficult advancement in all of the game. Now, everything I have spoke about are things in which I have completed in 600 days of hardcore Minecraft. But now, it's time to survive 1000 days. In this video, you will see me go on my most epic adventure yet, from transforming ocean monuments and constructing a netherite beacon, to even creating some incredible builds and battling dangerous enemies. Will I survive 1000 days in Minecraft Hardcore? Well, it's time to find out. Let the 1000 days begin. Our tale picks up on day 601, and well, the first thing I decided to do was go ahead and check on my cows. I just wanted to make sure they were doing okay. As I started to get closer, I couldn't help but notice all of the massive smiles on my cows' faces. They were so pleased to see me back. After spending some time with my cows and glancing around my island, I realized that I had to get to work. Although it was only day 601 and I had plenty of days ahead of me, I realized that if I wanted to get a bunch of stuff done in 1000 days, I would have to start now. The first thing I had in mind was a build, but after realizing all of my tools were quite low, I began day 601 by heading over to my Enderman farm and getting some XP for my tools. Seeing as all of my gear has mending, I was able to get everything to maximum durability. By the time I arrived back to my base, it was time to start planning out this build that I had in mind. The build would be a small but effective extension onto my base. You see, for quite a few hundred days, I've had this dog inside of my base, and well, I wanted to give it a home. I began by heading into the new secret area of my base to see if I could find any resources to begin this build. This build would mostly be constructed out of things like stone and cobblestone, so only some simple resources would be needed here. Once I had organised all of the building goodies into some shulker boxes and gathered some final stone, it was time to build my dog a brand new home. By day 611, the build was fully constructed, and not only did my dog now have a place to rest, but also a place to run around and explore. So after giving my dog a brand new collar, it was time to go and show him the surprise. As my dog approached me with excitement, we both looked around his brand new home. He couldn't quite believe it. I mean, just look at the smile of excitement on his face. And well, after seeing just how excited my dog was with this surprise, I decided to call him Spike. I then went on to spend some time with Spike and also show him around his brand new home. But once this was done, I had to leave Spike because it was time for me to go on a brand new adventure. Now, this adventure is something that I've wanted to do for a while now, but seeing as it takes a sheer amount of preparation and incredible hard work, I had been putting it off. You see, something that I've wanted to do for a while now was drain a full ocean monument. This is not only a time-consuming task, but also a very dangerous one. It's no secret that the ocean monument is filled with dangerous creatures, and well, to even drain one out, I would need to face another one once again. This would mean I needed to prepare some water-breathing potions and also some night vision potions as well. It was time to defeat an ocean monument. Once I had finished brewing up some potions, it was time to drink them and head into the ocean monument. I had to face danger once again. Seeing as I've defeated an ocean monument in the past, I knew exactly what needed to be done. I needed to head in and take on the 3 Outer Guardians as fast as possible. I made my way into the entrance, passing all of the hostile guardians. It was time for battle. I made my way through the ocean monument as fast as I could, swinging my swords at all of the guardians that tried to get close. I also had to keep my eyes on my potion effects. I couldn't afford to run out of water breathing. Seeing as I only had limited potions, I had to make this quick. I was struck with the curse of mining fatigue. I knew the Outer Guardians couldn't be far. As I made my way around the corner, I was face to face with the scariest enemy I had seen in a long time. This thing can deal some serious damage, so I had to keep my distance at all times. After hitting multiple accurate bow shots, I equipped my chest plate so I could absorb some extra damage, and I swam in with my sword, hitting some amazing melee shots. With one final swing of my sword, it was time to track down the final 2 Outer Guardians. And well, quickly after taking out the first one, I was able to find the second Outer Guardian. This one was surprisingly easy to take out, which means I only had one more left. I glanced up and it was here, the final Outer Guardian. I drank 2 more potions and it was time to fight. It seems I was too quick for the final Outer Guardian. And there it was, I was successful yet again with another battle. Now all I needed to do was collect the sponge from this ocean monument and begin the process of draining this ocean monument. The first thing I had to do was go ahead and visit my armory. I needed to get a spare shovel in there so I would be able to get a bunch of sand. After spending a few days collecting a bunch of sand and putting it into shulker boxes, it was time to drain the ocean monument. About halfway through the draining process, all my tools were getting quite low and even my bow as well. So I spent a little bit of time bringing all my tools back up to full durability. And not only that, I set up a conduit just outside of where I was draining this ocean monument. Having conduit power while draining an ocean monument is going to be very, very useful because it grants me with permanent water breathing. With all of my tools good to go, it was time to continue draining the ocean monument. The most efficient way for me to drain this ocean monument was to split it up into different sections. Then all I would simply have to do is go through all of these different sections with some sponge and soak up all of the water. It was a pretty time-consuming task, but once it was done, I had to go through and destroy all of the sand. I found this pretty easy because it only required me to go through with some torches and break the sand piece by piece. And by day 656, the entire ocean monument was drained. And it looks pretty good if I do say so myself. But it definitely had a lot of work to go and I couldn't wait to turn this into something amazing by the end of 1000 days. I knew exactly what I wanted to transform this ocean monument into, but seeing as I have spent so much time draining it, I wanted to take a short break from this project and do something else for a little bit. The next thing I want to do is tick another goal off the list, and that goal is to complete a full netherite beacon. I have already built a castle to store this netherite beacon and even made some progress on it, but I knew with enough TNT, I would be able to get a bunch more ancient debris, leading to a bunch more netherite blocks. The only problem I had though is I simply didn't have enough shulker boxes to carry all of the TNT I wanted to bring with me. So this required me to go into the end and get a bunch more shulker shells so I can get some more shulker boxes. By day 658, I dived straight into the end portal. It was time to get some shulker boxes. I flew into the end city portal and instantly began looking for some end cities. And well, pretty quickly into my adventure, I had found a fresh end city with an end ship. I got into the ship and began taking out the shulker to see if it would drop a shulker shell. And well, unfortunately, it didn't drop a shulker shell, but this was okay because I was able to get a spare elytra. And not only that, there was chests filled with loot. I then found another shulker, and luckily for me, this one actually dropped a shulker shell, which was exactly what I was looking for. I then continued to get as many shulker shells as I can, and of course, I had to open up the chests inside of the end cities to see what loot was awaiting me. By day 660, I had found yet another end city and couldn't believe my luck. I was getting shulker shells left, right, and center. By the time I had finished exploring end cities for shulker shells, I had collected 12 in total. I carried these safely back into the portal and got home. By the time I had got back to my base, I had crafted 6 shulker boxes, which now meant that I had 11 shulker boxes to fill with TNT to use in the nether. Now for the next few days, all I really needed to do was start gathering this TNT, and the first step to do this was to use my creeper farm to get as much gunpowder as I possibly could. By day 667, I had gathered stacks and stacks of gunpowder, and on the beginning of day 668, I began gathering the second most important ingredient of TNT. This was sand. Before I knew it, it was day 670, and I couldn't quite believe my eyes. I had gathered so much sand. But as a result of me gathering all of this sand, my shovel began getting pretty low on durability, so I had to travel over to the end to fix it up. But as I got to where my stronghold and my end portal is, something caught my eye. I realized that every time I came over to my end portal, not only did I have to take a staircase all the way down there, the only build that I had here was this small cobblestone structure. I realized that from now on I wanted to be able to get into my end portal as fast as I possibly could. So that's when I had a genius idea. I wanted to build something that allowed me to get into the end portal as fast as possible. So that's when I went resource gathering for some purple concrete and getting a bunch of quartz as well. By day 674, I had finished gathering all of the quartz necessary for this build. And on the beginning of day 675, construction began. This build was quite small, but it did the job perfect because I was able to head up this staircase and jump straight down into the end portal. This method of getting into the end portal was not only incredibly genius, but also incredibly fast. Once I was in the end, I brought my shovel up to maximum durability, and on day 679, it was time to make all of this sand and gunpowder into TNT. This process took some time, but by the end of it, I had thousands and thousands of blocks of TNT. I couldn't quite wait to see just how much ancient debris I would be able to gather with all of this. I also made a purple shulker box, and this would be where I would store all of the ancient debris on this ancient debris mining trip. I spent some time looking around for the perfect spot to mine ancient debris, and before I knew it, I had found the best spot. And by the middle of day 681, ancient debris mining was well underway. Not only mining out tunnels for all of this TNT, but also placing it. Once I was done with that, it was time for the fun part, exploding every piece of TNT. I watched as I saw all of the TNT reveal the ancient debris from behind. I also didn't want to miss mining any ancient debris, so I kept my eyes peeled at all times. Between day 683 and day 774, I exploded all of the TNT from the shulker boxes. I couldn't quite believe my eyes. The amount of ancient debris I was getting was just absolutely amazing. I mined loads and loads and loads of ancient debris. I then got down to my final 7 stacks of TNT. It was time to use all of this, and then I could take a look in my purple shulker box and see just how much ancient debris I had gathered from this mining trip. Once I exploded the final stacks that I had and mined up all of the ancient debris, it was then time to open up the purple shulker box and reveal just how much I'd collected. And when I saw it, I was shocked. I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing. I had mined a total of just under 16 stacks of ancient debris. With all of this, I was excited to see just how much netherite beacon progress I could make. I safely picked up the purple shulker box and kept it in my inventory. I couldn't get too excited because I had to take this shulker box safely back to my base without anything happening to it. Day 776 was here, and I'd made it back to my nether base. I felt victorious. I'd used thousands of stacks of TNT and obtained myself so much netherite. It was time to turn this all into netherite ingots and then into blocks. When I got back to my base, the first thing I did was look around for some gold, because all I would simply need to do now is smelt all of this ancient debris into netherite scraps, combine it with gold, and ultimately make the netherite ingots that I was looking for. But while I was looking for gold, I ran into just a small problem. I simply didn't have enough. So I knew the fastest way to get gold was a gold farm that I could build on the roof of the nether. The contraption itself is pretty simple to build, so on day 778, I went out to collect some magma blocks. This would be a key material in building the gold farm. Once I had obtained a bunch of magma blocks, I made some components for the farm. Things such as hoppers and also carpets. Another thing I would need for this farm is turtle eggs, and well, I found some turtles nearby and was able to pick some of those up. And well, on day 782, I prepared everything I would need in these shulker boxes. Now all I would need to do is get onto the roof of the nether. As I made my way through the portal, I got to the top of the nether and was able to ender pearl through the bedrock with ease. Now all I would need to do is set up a simple contraption that would allow me to break a piece of bedrock. This tactic is extremely risky because it contains TNT, but it also takes an immense amount of timing and also perfect block placement. And well, I was easily able to get it done. I now had a way that I could get straight from the nether, and using some ladders, I could get straight to the nether roof. Now that was done, it was time to build the farm. was now day 810, and after using the gold farm, I was able to see just how effective it was. But more importantly, I now had enough gold to make the netherite ingots. I made my way into the auto smelter mansion and loaded up my auto smelter machine with all of the ancient debris. I then flicked the switch and watched the machine go to work. Smelting the ancient debris did take some time, but in the end it was completely worth it, because as I turned the machine off and looked in the chest, all of the ancient debris had been turned into netherite scraps. I then took all of the scraps into my base and combined them with some gold. And before I knew it, I had the most amount of netherite I have ever seen. Nearly 4 complete stacks of netherite. I couldn't believe my eyes. After having some fun, I put it all in my crafting table and constructed the maximum amount of blocks I could make. I then took this over to the netherite castle and decided to display my progress so far. Just take a look at this. From the front angle, it almost looks as if it's complete. Even though I had made some great progress, this is definitely something that will be fully complete before 2,000 days. I also realized that I didn't have a beacon to put on top of this, so it was time to head into the nether and go to the fortress. I needed to collect some wither skulls, but I wouldn't just be fighting one wither. I wanted to fight 3 at the same time. So ultimately, I could make 3 beacons. 1 for the netherite beacon, and then I would have 2 spare for some other building projects. I was also feeling very brave and definitely thought I was worthy of taking on 3 withers at once. So after getting the first few wither heads, I had to repair my sword and I got right back into action. I needed 9 in total. My luck was amazing. It was almost as if the wither skeletons didn't want to stop giving me the wither skeleton skulls. Taking out wither after wither, I was able to get the amount of skeleton skulls that I was looking for. I had 9 in total. Now all I needed to do was take on the withers themselves. So I made my way back home and said goodbye to my dog Spike, because it may be the last time I get to see him again. I also did the same thing with all of my villagers and iron golems, also my pet cows as well. Battling 3 withers at once is going to be extremely risky, so I had to make sure that nothing is to go wrong in this battle. As I flew out and dug underground into a spot where I was going to fight these withers, I got myself prepared. It was time for battle. Okay, here we go. I have a totem in my hand if anything goes wrong. And let's also go ahead and grab my strength potions. Okay, 3 of these should be good, and let's also get an instant health as well. Well, I guess this is it. Let's drink the strength potion, and let's hope this goes okay. Okay, let's put the wither skulls all in the place like this. Here we go. Okay, let's run. Alright, so we have some strength potions. We also have the instant health. Let's hope this goes okay. There's literally 3 withers right here. I'm extremely scared, and this... Oh, whoa, okay, our hearts are already... Okay, we need to... Okay, hold up. I didn't bring any golden apples, and our hearts are already at 4 hearts. Okay, let's just try and take them out one by one. We're nearly there with the first one. Let's go. Oh, okay, there we go. We took the first one out. We got the star from that one. Where are the other 2? Our hearts are going down, but we should be good. This is extremely scary. Okay, I was able to get the wither's attention with a bow shot and do some serious damage. The second one's nearly down. Let's just go for it. All right, there we go. Perfect. We have 2 nether stars right now. Let's regenerate before we go for the third one. Is our totem going to have to be used right now? Oh, okay, that was close. 1.5 hearts. We were literally so close to using our totem. The third and final wither got stuck in a cave. I had to lure it out. Things were about to get dangerous. Wait a second. It has somehow escaped into this cave. This is going to be risky, but we have to do it. I don't know how it escaped to this cave. I really have no idea. Right, come here, Wither. We need to take you out. Oh, no, we can't use our sword just yet. I do not want to take any more damage. I have no more strength potions. We have to take this out. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. Go, 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 go. Oh, no, 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 no. We need to run. We need to run. We need to run. Oh, no, no. We're really low. We are really low. Our totem may get used. We may have to use our totem right now. Okay, we are at 3 hearts. We can just pretty much just go for some sword attacks. My hearts were rapidly decreasing. I needed to grab out a spare totem of undying if anything was to go wrong. We are in some serious danger right now. We have 12 seconds of the wither effect. We need to pop these totems. Okay. Luckily, we have some more. Whew, okay, I did not expect to use a totem, but that was close. Come on, let's just take this out without getting hit. Oh, there we go, finally. If the wither didn't get stuck in the cave, we would have been absolutely fine. But you know what? We have successfully just taken out 3 withers, which means we now have 3 nether stars. So let's get back to base and build some beacons. By day 848, I was back at my base, and the first thing that I did was craft all 3 beacons. Having 3 beacons was awesome, and I couldn't wait to use the first one. I used this beacon in the netherite castle to power the netherite beacon. I then used a netherite ingot to power the beacon itself, and well, there it was, a beacon that was being powered by netherite blocks. Once this was done, I wanted to build an extension onto my island. And well, seeing as I love building castles, I wanted to build another one. But this one would be a little bit different. I wanted to build a castle that would showcase all of the things that I had achieved in this hardcore world so far. Things like my Ender Dragon egg, valuables such as totems of undying and full netherite gear, but also a dragon head. So after collecting all of the resources I needed and organizing them into shulker boxes, it was time to build the ultimate castle. By day 888, the ultimate castle was complete. And well, it looked amazing. The only things I had to do now was put things inside of the castle itself, such as my dragon egg, my dragon head, and also a spare elytra I had. Now I wanted to fill this area up with netherite armor and also netherite tools. And on this side over here, I wanted to display 10 totems of undying. And well, seeing as I didn't have all of this laying around, I would have to go out and get it myself. So I came up with a pretty genius idea to get the totems of undying, and this would be a raid farm. Once I'd found the perfect location to build this raid farm, I put everything into place. And for this farm to work efficiently, I would also need some villagers. So after spending some time getting the villagers over to the raid farm, I was able to test this thing out. I had to start by getting the bad omen effect and then heading back over to the farm to activate a raid. I quickly got back to the farm and it was time to see if this thing worked. To my surprise, the farm was working perfectly. I couldn't wait to see just how many totems I was going to get from this. And well, when I opened the chest, I couldn't quite believe it. There were so many totems. So I grabbed all of these and took them back to the castle. I then put them one by one into their item frames. I now had a wall of totems of undying. These totems were a great addition to the castle. Now all I needed to do was get some netherite tools and armor. But after looking in my shulker box, I realized the lack of diamonds I have. I would need to go on a quick mining trip to get some diamonds so then I can ultimately make netherite armor. So for the next few days, I was down in the depths of the caves. I was using my silk touch pickaxe to not only mine diamonds but also coal as well, because I didn't want to run out of coal anytime soon. So this mining trip was a perfect way I could get some. I was then able to silk touch a bunch of diamonds with my pickaxe. And before I knew it, it was day 919, and I placed all of my ores ready to mine, starting with coal, and then all of my diamonds. In total, I was able to get 46 diamonds from this mining trip, but combined with the diamonds I already had, that would be a total of a stack and 20 diamonds. This was more than enough to craft 2 sets of diamond armor and a full set of tools. And seeing as I wanted to turn all of this into netherite, I had to borrow some blocks from my netherite beacon. But before I turned anything into netherite, I wanted to enchant it first. So for that reason, I dived into the end portal, and it was time to get a bunch of XP. In total, I now had 70 XP levels, which was the perfect amount. So when I got back to my base, I turned all of the gear into netherite, and I enchanted everything to the maximum level. Although, while I was enchanting, I wasn't really too happy with my sword enchantment, so after a few tries I was able to get an enchantment that I was happy with. I then put everything on display in my castle, and it was looking great. The castle was looking pretty good if I do say so myself, and also did a great job in showcasing all of my achievements. It was now day 925, and I was running out of time to decorate my ocean monument, which is something that I really wanted to get done before the end of 1000 days. So after smelting a bunch of glass, and getting some extra resources, it was time to decorate the ocean monument. Midway through decorating the ocean monument, I found a beacon and also a nether star that I had spare. This must have been something that I collected a while ago and completely forgot about. But this was perfect because I now had 4 beacons to decorate the ocean monument with. There it was. The OSHA monument was fully decorated and it looked pretty good if I do say so myself. After spending some time looking around my OSHA monument, I realized that it was day 985, and day 1000 was getting closer and closer. So, because of this, I wanted to start on making a firework display, which I would use on day 1000. So I made as many fireworks as I can, and set up a contraption on my island which would send all of the fireworks into the sky and display all of them. I prepared all of the fireworks, but there was one more thing I had to do before I use all of them, and it was to prove myself once again. And I would do this by slaying the Ender Dragon once again. To respawn the Ender Dragon, I need End Crystals, which requires me to get some gas tears. I was getting quite lucky. I was flying around and picking up gas tears left, right and center, and wow, with the assistance of my looting 3 sword, I was able to get all of the gas tears I was looking for. It was now time to get back to my base and craft the End Crystals. I individually placed all 4 in my inventory. It was time to go to the end. I was here. It was time to place the End Crystals down one by one. The End Crystals were placed. Now all I needed to do was await the dragon's arrival. The obsidian pole summoned himself once again. It was time to battle. The dragon was here. I instantly used my elytras to get into the air. With some accurate bow shots, I was able to take out the End Crystals. This would stop the Ender Dragon from being able to regenerate itself. And with one final bow shot, the only End Crystal I had to take out were the ones in the cages. I was able to get on top of this End Crystal and destroy it. I then located the second End Crystal and took it out. All of the End Crystals were gone. All I needed to do now was take out the dragon itself. But as I went in to swing my sword, the Ender Dragon hit me back. Things got dangerous, but I was okay. Seeing as I had my Totem of Undying on me, I would be fine. The Ender Dragon was flying around the air, and it wasn't coming down to the center. So I had to use my bow to deal serious amounts of damage. The Ender Dragon was down to half health. It was time to get more accurate with the bow shots, and more faster on my feet. The Ender Dragon came down once again, but the center was covered in dragon's breath. There was no way I could deal sword strikes. That was until the dragon's breath cleared up. I was able to go in and deal some more sword attacks. As the fight was just about to be over, the dragon hit me back. I knew exactly what needed to be done. There it was. I had taken out the Ender Dragon once again. I felt victorious. And not only that, an End City portal was opened in return for me defeating the Ender Dragon. I was home, but more importantly, safe from the Ender Dragon. It was now time to use the firework display. By the time I had prepared everything, it was the night of day 999. And it was time to take a look at this firework display. After the firework display, I got some rest. And it was now day 1000. I had done it. I had successfully survived 1000 days in Minecraft Hardcore. But there's a lot of stuff I want to get done in 2000 days, so let me know down below in the comments if you want to see that. But apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really enjoyed making it. And as I said, let me know if you want to see 2000 days. Apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Peace.